Hello, hello, my name is Jenna, and I like to read my journals to you guys. I've been sharing my spiritual awakening and healing journey on Facebook, which started out on WordPress, and I hopped over to TikTok and Clapper, Chaotic Crown Channeling, written the same way as on here. And I've been reading the journal entry / blog posts. Sometimes I'll actually track down the journal entry for you to see that it's really in there. And I'm kind of alternating between the Facebook and the WordPress right now because I started on WordPress, moved over to Facebook, so I'm just kind of bouncing between the two until I reach that point where I no longer posted or cross-posted to WordPress. This comes with a trigger warning. This is the hysterectomy and near-death experience that I had. So there is blood. So if that's not something you can handle, then you might want to come back another time, or just let this one go altogether. I had my hysterectomy in 2019, April 2019. This is graphic and goes into medical aspects of being a woman. If you are about to have a hysterectomy, you might want to reconsider reading this. During my third pregnancy, I had severe back pain, like legs giving out from under me, agonizing pain. During my C-section, they tied my tube since 3 kids is enough for me, especially with the risks in being a single mom now. In the hospital, I had the worst postpartum, post-surgical pain to date. I had 2 other C-sections, one where I woke up in ICU due to organ failure, but this was painful. They said everything was looking fine. Weeks went by and the pain changed. Some of it got better, of course, because I was healing. However, my back was stiff and in pain. The older my baby got, the more pain I was in. Eventually, I had periods that would last for weeks again. I spent the majority of the year tucked away in my home in a small town. I had no gas station, bakery, or a store. I had learned to function and care for my kids, but I was in total isolation. This was important because I had to learn to live with myself again. In order to reach a state of bliss, you have to dig deep. I was still recovering from an abusive relationship, 2 actually, so after a while I decided to move closer to friends and family. While I was in the process of getting the new apartment ready in September 2018, I had surgery to stop the bleeding. I was on hormones as well. Come March 2019, I am in too much pain to work out, lift much, or even have sex. So in April, I had my uterus and cervix removed. The difference was felt right after waking up from surgery. I cried because I was so happy that the pain was gone. Now this next post is about what happened afterwards. I had posted it on Facebook as a story time. Trigger warning, blood loss. I am changing names or just leaving them out. I'm going to drink some water. Hold on, please. Now, quick note before I go into this. This is me sharing my healing journey. So there are posts that I will be reading where I'm mad as fuck. I'm mad as fuck. There are posts that I will be reading where I was being divinely guided to set triggers to bring awareness to where people need to heal. This is something I do all the time. I shut down Jenna and I let Spirit do all the talking or tell me what stories to share, and it'll be to serve healing within people. You know, sorry, not sorry. It's a thing that comes when we're doing what we're doing, right? Some of you have already been doing this and you understand. We don't care if people get mad because we understand that the healing process is number 1. Followers doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people like us. What matters is that people are coming into that acknowledgement of, oh, I'm triggered, I need to heal. And then what they do with it, that's up to them, right? So we're here to help, but we're not going to force anybody. I'm not going to force nobody. You guys have free will. You do you, boo. All right. Once again, trigger warning, blood. Okay. Here we go. As you all know, oh wait, did I write the date? Okay. May. It was in May 2019. There we go. As you all know, I had a hysterectomy on April 25th, and this was what I was posting on my Facebook. They removed my uterus, fallopian tube, cervix, and a whole bunch of scar tissue that had been causing me extreme pain for over a year. During the laparoscopic procedure, they found out that my uterus was covered in fibroids. I had a fun thing called, I don't know how to pronounce this, adenomyosis? And my scar adhesions had pulled my bladder into my outer uterine wall. All of this had been the cause for my daily cramping, sometimes as severe as labor pains, back pains, and overall abdominal pain that would go down into my legs. I was in pain, I was miserable, but I managed to get by with my minions. I was not able to be very active due to the pain. I was not the fun mom most of my friends knew in the States. I was in fucking agony. Now, after surgery, everything was going well. No heavy lifting, no major housework, no driving for a while, the works. Being a single mom of 3 kids and having a toddler is not always possible to just do nothing, but I had help and I did my best not to do too much. I was feeling good and in a great headspace. My nightmares had stopped, my sleep paralysis stopped, my anxiety was almost gone, give or take a few triggers from previous abuse. Almost 3 weeks post-op, I had my checkup on a Wednesday and the doctor said everything was looking good. Same rules applied though. That following week on Monday morning, after my friend picked up Gremlin, my little girl, her name is Addie, not Gremlin, but she's a gremlin, like the green kind. I took a nap. In my dream, I went to the bathroom. And there was dark, thick blood everywhere. When I tried to call out to my son to get the phone, blood started coming out of my mouth. It was a weird dream. I figured it had a meaning, but nothing too bad. It was a warning. Later that evening, I had a friend over to help with some household stuff and give Gremlin a bath. My friend lifted her in the tub for me, and I washed her. I took my time. I did not pick her up. I did not do anything any different than the past few times I had bathed her. I was rinsing her off when I felt a sudden rush of nausea and almost blacked out. I was dizzy and leaning against the bathroom door. I wasn't really too concerned at this point because it subsided fairly quickly, and I have been dizzy a lot since the surgery. Turns out that vertigo was frequencies coming in, messages coming in. As I was getting my minion dressed, not that specific one, but the vertigo I had altogether from the surgery, which wasn't really surgery related. Anyways, as I was getting my minion dressed, I asked my friend to take over because I had to go to the restroom, and there was blood. It was not a lot, but too much and too bright to ignore. I called the hospital I had surgery at, and they said to go to the nearest hospital right away. I won't get into details of my children's whereabouts at this point. They were taken care of, but there was drama. Maybe that's not the post where I actually go into all of that. That'll be there too, though. If it's not in this one, it's in another one where I cut my family off and why, because of this whole thing. The ambulance was called, and I had a bag packed up for the night just in case. In the ambulance, my blood pressure was high. The medic said that was a good sign because it meant there was blood flowing. I was just under stress. When we reached the hospital, they got me into the fun lady chair and the doctor did her checkup. She saw the blood. It was more at this point. Blood was pooled onto the chair and the floor and all over the equipment. The doctor put gauze up inside me to apply pressure, hoping it would stop the bleeding. She said she could not see exactly where the blood was coming from because there was a 2-centimeter big blood clot in the way. For those who are not aware, getting a buttload of gauze shoved into your lady parts up to the very top and putting pressure on rather fresh wounds is pretty painful. They get me to bed, they lay a catheter. The doctor tells me I am not allowed to get up. Not too long after, a shift change takes place. This is where shit gets bad. First, I have a headache. They gave me an IV with some Tylenol type stuff. Okay, cool, that's better. But I'm anxious, trying not to panic. Getting messages about who will take the kids. Family caused all that drama. It took me multiple times to finally get the nurse to give me something to calm my nerves. They knew I have a panic disorder. They knew I had left my emergency stash of pills at home. Because at this point, I had already stopped taking my meds. The nurse was rude and always yelling goodnight to me. I calm down. The pain gets worse down under. I feel the gauze is filling with blood. Ring for the nurse. She says she can't take it out. Doctor said it has to stay. She gave me Tylenol. She can't just keep giving me meds. A few more times of this crap and she finally calls the doctor. I get real pain meds. The nurse adjusts my headrest before I am ready, and as I fall, I feel severe pain through my lower abdomen and I scream out in pain, and she tells me, "It's not that serious now, good night." Between the pain meds and the Valium, I get a good 2 hours of sleep. Then I am jolted out of my slumber with a pain so excruciating I could not touch my belly. I tried to get comfortable, legs up, open, near the belly, away from the belly, tried to sit up higher, lay down lower, nothing worked. I ring for the nurse. Again, she tells me I am fine, I have to keep the gauze in. The doctor is in the delivery room, she cannot see me. I ask the nurse to check the blood. I can feel the blood coming out of the gauze. It is full. Something is not right. My head hurts again. I feel sick. This happened a few times. Every time she gets more annoyed. Did a quick check from the top in and said it's fine and left the room. She'd just do like this, move the panties and just kind of peek. She didn't actually look because I could feel the blood under me. Check from the top, said it's fine and left the room. Morning shift change comes around. I ring a nurse and I tell her I am not able to stand the pain anymore. Breathing hurts. My blanket on my body hurts. My belly is swollen. I need a doctor. I need help. Something isn't right. Again, the same nurse tells me everything is fine. I need to calm down. It's not that bad. She leaves the room, and then I feel the gauze start to push itself out of my body. There is less pressure, and I can breathe again. I ring for a nurse. A new nurse comes in. Finally, she takes a real look. The rest of the gauze is pushing itself out, and I feel the blood come out. She looks at me. She says, I'm going to leave this just as it is. The doctor will be here soon. Don't worry. And then she said, look at me. She said, I'm here now. You're going to be okay. Too late, lady. I saw your eyes. She was freaking out, too. Shortly after I ring again, the gauze is completely out of me. The nurse comes to check and sees the blood under my body. She exits the room and comes back with a handful of staff. I don't know how many. They are waiting for the doctor. Some guy is drawing blood. The nurses are changing my pads and trying to clean the bed up. I start shaking. My body is shaking so hard the entire bed is moving. I ask why I can't stop shaking. Why am I so cold? Why is no one helping me? I see my skin color fading to a pale gray. I think I'm fucking dying. The girl next to me thinks I'm dying. I'm freezing in pain. I feel blood under me. I cannot stop shaking. They give me something. I kind of calm down, get a bit of rest. Now, while I was shaking and saying, why is nobody helping me, I heard a voice say my name. The voice that I heard was my friend Allie in Missouri. And later on, after my surgery and everything, I checked my Facebook because I was letting people know I was okay. And she had posted under my post where I was saying I'm in the hospital. And all she wrote was my name, Jenna. And that was what I heard. And when I heard her say my name while I was in the hospital, shaking in the bed, I looked over and I saw an angelic light being, alien thing, and it said, you will help the people heal. So I was laying in my bed. I was bleeding out. The bed was shaking. And then I heard something and saw something that I should not have been able to see and hear. The earth shook and the veil was ripped. Sound familiar? Yep. Cycle of Christ's life happens in our lives. Anyways. The doctor checks. She asked about the blood clot. It is 6 centimeters now. She can't see anything but blood and blood clots. She asks the night doctor if she had marked bags for me. Turns out the doctor marked down 4 blood bags for me when I came in that night. My blood levels the night before, after bleeding for an hour, were still at 12, normal. The morning blood levels were at 9. The doctor told me we have to do surgery. We don't know where the blood is coming from. We need to get in there. We will try vaginally. If that does not work, we will attempt laparoscopic surgery through the recent incisions. But you have to know, we might have to cut you open from top to bottom if we can't find the source fast enough. I'm calm, but I'm freaking out. I told the 3rd doctor in the room, please don't let me die. They informed me that depending on my blood morning level result, surgery can be in the afternoon or in the next 2 hours. While at level 9 and still gushing blood, they have the doc come to talk about anesthesia. He checks my heart and he hears that something is off. Well, now there might be a new problem as well, because 3 weeks ago my heart sounded just fine. He comes back 3 times to check my heart and tells me that they have to lay 1 more IV and then another one into my main artery so they can detect my heart rate better and have a good IV down in case I need a blood transfusion. He tells me if 1 isn't enough, I will wake up with 1 in my arm and 1 in my neck. He looks worried. I'm an internal wreck. He tells me if you see me again, it will be in the OR or ICU. So if you wake up and I am there, you are in ICU and you can expect that the worst has happened. Well, shit. They get me prepped and I am at the doorway of the OR ready to be rolled in before the other patient is even rolled out into the wake-up room. The staff is nice. I try to crack a joke or two, but for the most part I am breathing, envisioning myself in a white light of protection and grounding myself. Praying to all the gods and energies I know of, please don't let me die, my babies need me. Now, of course, at this point when I was envisioning a white light of protection around myself, I didn't realize what I was doing. It was all coming naturally to me. Surgery took 4 hours. I was in wake-up for another 3 or so. If you were reading my updates, you know the rest. The same day my friend came to visit, she helped me eat because I had IVs everywhere. We talked and cracked jokes, and I laughed so hard it hurt, but man, I was happy to be alive. My arms had been stuck more times than I could count for them to get a good grip in my artery. I lost over a quarter of my blood supply. The bitch night nurse did not take care of me anymore. My anxiety levels are bad. It takes 2 Ativan to calm me down at night when I am alone with the kids. People who know me know I avoid meds like that because I have an addictive personality, but shit, nothing else works. Thank you for your blessings, prayers, light, love, and positive energies. I felt a protective light around me. I saw my great-grandmother. I felt my spirit guide touch me as I laid in bed crying the night after surgery. And then the dream started, and the voices I've grown accustomed to in early life got louder. Things I saw as a child are here again, watching me. Now I know my purpose. I am still worried it could happen again, but I am okay, I am alive, I am blessed, and I am healing, one day at a time. And then here at the bottom I added, I saw spirits and spoke with them as a child, had premonitions, and even been used as a medium. I spent so many years blocking it all out, then I embraced it for a while just to block most of it again. That night in the hospital, the veil dropped. That's what kick-started a whole new level of soul searching. Stay with me, this is where it starts to get magical. Trauma is inevitable. Love your life. Your soul chose the lessons for you. You just have to remember, then you will find your magic. Alright, so that was that one. I guess I'll see. I'll look for the post where I ended up exposing my family, basically, is what happened. I exposed my family because at first I didn't want to share the full extent of what had happened because I just felt like it would be fucked up. But then I reached a point where I realized that, and this is all divinely guided, guys. This is all divinely guided, which I realized later on. But I realized that I was learning to speak my truth, right? I was going through a major throat chakra clearing. I mean, I was clearing all my chakras. I was clearing all my shit, right? But I was learning to speak my truth and to set my boundaries, right? So, see what I titled that specific post, and I'll go ahead and read that one, and get that posted after this one. That way you guys don't have to go scrolling looking for it like I have to do on my blogs. Yep, I love you.